Radical.
Last week I talked about the Steam Machine, which is Valve's crack at getting into the console market, I think. It's their crack at having a machine that's a small form factor deal to put in your living room on your TV. Something that would be kind of the best of all worlds. Something that is like a console, very small, diminutive, but also something, if you're really big into, Steam and you have a Steam library, something that can access all of your Steam games. Also, one of you mentioned in the comment section when I said, well, the Steam Machine, who's it for? Someone mentioned it being a possible emulation beast, which is a great point to whoever left that in the comment section there. So there has been a lot of speculation about the pricing. Whenever something's revealed, the first question people have generally is, how much is this going to be? And you heard all these different people on YouTube specifically talking about bouncing around what it could be, talking about how it could completely destroy the console, specifically any Xbox console that comes out, by pricing itself at around the same price as a Series S at $400. Now I looked at that and I said, there's no way it could be that. But then other people broke down the parts that's inside of it, and they said, well, Valve might take a loss on the Steam Machine. If they might take a loss, and they could price it at $399.99 and completely just own, they'd be releasing, more than halfway through this generation, but they could really not own everything and beat out PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox, but they would cut out a significant chunk of that market by pricing themselves at $400 and being something that many people would really love to have, which is something that you can play all your Steam library. A lot of people are aching for something like that. And the thing is small, so it's not like it's bulky like a actual big PC. And the performance, while it's not going to be a 4K machine like I talked about in my previous upload, it's still going to be several times more powerful than a Steam Deck. I failed to mention that it's going to be 5 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. But the Steam Deck was not that powerful, so maybe it's not super impressive. But it's somewhere in line between... The performance is less than the PS5. It's between somewhere the Series X and the Series S, essentially. But you have so many other positive things about it, where it's not a just comparison to the consoles. There's more going on because it's actually a PC, which is a big bonus there. Now the pricing, everyone's talking about, like I said, and Valve basically confirmed something. I think it was Linus Tech Tips that brought up the idea of it being $500. And here's how you know. If somebody brings up a price point, if somebody's, very positive and going like, well, yes, it could be around that price point, then it might be. But if they kind of, if they just kind of dodge the question or the statement, then it's going to be more. It's going to be more expensive. But they confirmed it when they said in November 22nd, 2 days ago, they said during the Friends Per Second podcast episode, they said it's going to be more in line with what you might expect from the current PC market. They also said, obviously, our goal is for it to be a good deal at that level of performance. And then you have the features that are really hard to build if you're making your own gaming PC from parts. In reply to people saying, well, we could just put this thing together. The parts are around 400 some bucks, just depending on, where they pick the parts. So right there they tell you, no, it's more in line with what you might expect from the current PC market. And if we've looked at things like a handheld like the ROG Ally X, that's $1,000. If you look at gaming PCs, if you're saying this thing is more in line with a gaming PC than a cheap entry-level gaming PC from, let's say, CyberPower or something, is what? $800, $900, something like that? So it's going to be closer to the $900 price point, I think, than the three, four, I mean, not 300, but the $400, $500 price point that many people thought. If that's the case, then Steam very well could price themselves out of a market they're trying to squeeze into. You see? I mean, if they price this thing, I think anything over $700, I think it's DOA, man. I just feel like it's DOA. Because if it's around $700, a regular console gamer is going to say, why don't I just get like a damn PlayStation 5 Pro?